Welcome to the Millionaires Talk Season 4. I'm Jack Wu. Today I'm extremely excited to interview another 7-figure earner in my company. I have been looking forward to this interview for a long time now. And before I get the interview started, let me introduce the guest speaker. I have Bill Hong, one of the youngest 7-digit figure earner in my company. I would like to spend a moment to introduce Bill Hong to our audience, and then after that we'll get right into the interview. From what I remember, Bill has joined our company approximately about 5 years ago when he was 25 years old. Started very young. And from what I remember, Bill didn't have any sales background, didn't have any business background. Started with our company part-time, but very quickly he was able to transition from part-time to full-time with our company because he saw the opportunity, he saw the crusade. Recently, you just turned 29 years old, and this gentleman right here was able to crack over $1.1 million commission within the 12-month rolling period. And so it's exciting for me to spend some time to interview this young entrepreneur today. You know, one of the most common questions people have for me these days is always been asking me is, does age matter for being a successful entrepreneur? For me, I truly believe that age doesn't matter. I think what matters is your expertise and value. That is truly determined whether you can be successful or not. So I really think that whether you are young like a Bill Hong or maybe a little bit older, it has nothing to do with your success ultimately. Your value, your expertise, your knowledge has everything to do with your success. So with that being said, let's get right into what we want to talk about today, and let me get right into the interview. So to start off, Bill, why don't you just spend a few minutes to introduce to our audience who you are and how did you start it as an entrepreneur at such a young age?
Okay, thank you, Jack. My name is Bill. I was born in China, came to America when I was 20, which is 9 years ago. I used to study in Academy of Art University, and my major was the interior design. I joined your company 5 years ago. I got my license 4 years ago. Right now, I'm honored to be the youngest executive field director in your company, and the youngest millionaire in your company, probably the youngest in the whole industry. Just turned 29, and I'm so happy to be part of your company. Thank you, Jack.
Bill, now you achieved some amazing success through our company. And I also remember when you first joined, you were very shy. Have you ever imagined you would be able to get to where you are today?
I never think about this. When I first came to America, I used to be really shy. I think the biggest reason because I don't speak English very well. My English used to be really poor.
Sure.
I remember when my mom took me to Costco. I don't know how to ask for the free food. I don't have that gut. So I let my mom to get the food for me, and if the food is good, my mom can get another one. I used to be really shy.
Right.
And I joined your company in my second year in my college. And my mom invited me to the company. I don't want to join any company because I got my school. So my mom said, hey son, let me introduce you a very successful guy who make 1.5 million a year. I don't have that feel. I don't want to meet any successful guy, right? And secondly, my mom said, hey son, this guy drives a car called Maserati. I was like, oh man. At that time, I was 24. All I think about is I want to get a better car. So when I heard about that, I told my mom, hey mom, I'll go with you. Let's go. So let's go. That's how I met the chairman of my company,
Which is me.
Yeah,
Right.
Which is you. So when I joined your company, I'm just a blank the paper. I know nothing.
I still
I know
remember.
nothing about the business. I never do business before. I never be a salespeople before. I never team leader before. So I learned from the scratch. I learned from nothing. I remember your training. Every time I was sitting on the second row, no matter what you say, I just absorb the knowledge, and I learn from the ground. That's how I become who I am today.
I think one thing that you pointed out, and I want to kind of recap what you just said, is most people when they look at the final product of a successful entrepreneur, they tend to think that they are born to be great. They tend to think that they maybe have certain things that are naturally, but most people are not. I think the key to become successful is to practice, is to train yourself times after times on things you're not great at. So that's your story. Because when I first met you, my memorization of you when you first joined my company was you were extremely shy. You were not a sales type of guy, but through a lot of practice, a lot of hard work, now you became a totally different type of brief entrepreneur, right? Now on your way to become successful, obviously there are a lot of distractions, right? and most people, when they look at successful people, they think that they don't ever sin, they don't ever make any mistakes, and they don't have any distractions. And you and I both know that that's not true. You know, we are just normal human beings. I have distractions as much as you have distractions, right? But the key, I think, what separate successful people than the people who's not very successful yet is they're able to handle distractions very well. So on your way to become successful, and obviously you cracked over 7-digit figure income recently in my company, how do you handle distractions? How are you able to handle all these distractions that you're encountering and still be able to build your business successfully?
I want to say along the way I got a lot of distractions.
Yes.
The most hardest point is before I made my 100,000 income in my first year, or you make your money. Before you make money, that time is really hard. You got a lot of distraction. People say, "Hey, how can you do this one? You don't even speak English. You are not a salespeople, right? How can you?" A lot of people rain on my parade. But at that time, how can I handle the distraction? Because I have a very strong why. The only reason I joined your company is I just want to be like you. I want to buy a nice car when I was young. That's all I want at the beginning. I remember when I doing the business at the beginning, when I got a distraction, I always ask myself, if I don't do this business, what can I do? Is there any other business can make my dream come true? Can give me the car I want? Because I was 24 years old, I'm young. After I ask myself all the questions, the answer is no. This is the business. This is the only business I can make my dream come true. So, okay, my why is so strong. Then I can conquer all the distractions.
Okay. How important do you think to have a good mentor in your life? How important do you think that is?
Oh, it's very important. I made my $1 million, I think 2 months ago, become people say the millionaire, annual income over $1 million. I would say there's no self-made millionaire, right? There's a mentor made a millionaire, also a team made a millionaire. I want to give my credit to you and my mom, also as my mentor. Without you guys, I cannot be who I am today. You guys teach me everything. If I want to do the business, I need a great mentor like you and my mom.
I totally agree with you. I think the worst advice you can ever get from anybody financially is free advice, especially free advice from broke people. Coaching, having the right mentor is extremely important because it's impossible for you to get to the highest level if you don't have someone who's been there, done it, and still doing it. Mentorship is everything, but the problem for a lot of people in the world today is that they are following with the wrong mentors, and they call those mentors, they're good human beings, they're probably great father, great mother, they're probably great community leaders, but when it comes to financially, you got to be with mentors who's been there, done that, and also build an amazing company and financially successful. Let me piggyback on that particular question and ask you another question to follow up. How important it is for you to continue to learn and continue to be coachable for other mentors?
I remember you said, everybody needs a mentor, right? To me, in our company, I see a lot of people when they make 100,000, 200,000, they're stuck there forever.
I've seen a lot of those.
To me, I always willing to learn. I always feel I'm not at the top, right? I'm not perfect. I don't speak perfect English, even today, right? Sometimes I'm so nervous, right? So I feel I always need to learn. I don't feel I'm there yet. So I'm a very, I put myself, sometimes I put myself up, sometimes I put myself really down. Because I feel I'm not there yet. I always need to learn from you and from my mom.
Yeah. Well, I think most of the people, once they get to a certain level, not just in our company, and I've seen a lot of other companies as well, there are people who's very talented. In my eyes, they have every reason to get to the high scale, but they don't. And the reason for that is because I truly believe that once they achieve a certain level of success, they let ego get into their heart. They let ego get into their brain. You know, ego, it could be a good thing, but it also can be an extremely horrible thing. I don't think anybody can be successful unless they have some kind of ego. But I believe that the most successful people in the world today is they know how to handle their ego. And you're right about that, is that I have seen a lot of people when they make 6-digit figure income, maybe multiple 6-figure income, they stop learning. They stop being coachable. And I think that's a big drawback. The ego is what got them to make $100,000, $200,000 a year. But also because of the ego, it is also what is stopping them of making $500,000 a year and $1 million a year and multi 7-figure incomes a year. Okay. Now, your organization is becoming bigger and bigger each day. And I watch the way you build your business, build your team, and you have lots of good leaders in your company, in your business rising up today. If you have to mention few characteristics that you're looking for from somebody that you're working with very closely, what are some of the characteristics that you're looking for when you're hiring people to work with you?
When I work with my agent closely one-on-one, I never judge people's background. Your English skill level, your background, never judge about this. Number one I look for is coachability. This is very important. No matter how good you are, you need to be always coachable, especially at the beginning. So number one is the coachable. So I'm very coachable at the beginning and along the way. So when I deal with my agent, number one thing, coachability. This is very important. Number two, I want to say, you need to have a big heart. You need to have a big heart. Because I see some people, they got potential, they're coachable, but they're always very selfish. They think about themselves. They're not willing to provide some free help to other people, to their mentor, to their team member, to their family. So I want to say you need to have a very big heart. Don't calculate the small stuff. Willing to do the free stuff at the beginning. Because people, they will help you along the way.
So it's the heart and it's the coachability. I want to add 2 more on that, and I feel that finding the right students to mentor is extremely important if you want to scale your company. On top of the 2 you mentioned, I have to add on work ethic. I think work ethic, which you agree, is extremely important. Willing to put the hours in. You always have a lot of people in the world today that have great attitude, and I have a lot of people come to me and ask for mentorship on a daily basis, and they're good people, great attitude, very positive, but they're not willing to put the hours in. I can't deal with people like that. Putting a lot of hours in is not necessarily just work a lot of hours and then see results immediately. I believe that working hard, putting a lot of hours, eventually you will figure out what did you do wrong. Okay? And sometimes people think that working a lot of hours, you need to see the results. What did I do right to get the result? But for me, it's completely different. I truly feel that putting a lot of hours working hard at the beginning, even if there are no results, but if you can figure out what did you do wrong, then you definitely have more advantage than people that's not willing to work hard. And the last one to me, besides the work ethic, to me is also capability. At the end of it all, you can be positive, you can be coachable, you can have an amazing heart, but if you cannot execute and get the job done and perform and put the numbers up, at the end it means absolutely nothing. Because we're in business today. Business is not Disney World, it's not Disneyland. At the end, it's gotta be numbers. And to me, people constantly asking me, how do you define a successful entrepreneur? And the way I define successful entrepreneur is that successful entrepreneur equals revenues and profits. At the end, whatever you do, you got to make money. Your company has to be profitable by helping people first, but your company at the end has to be profitable for you to continue to help people. So same thing as entrepreneur. As you're working hard and building your business, helping so many people, at the end of it all, you have to look at your balance sheet, you have to look at your bank account and say, am I making money? Am I making profit?
Yeah.
So I would like to add those 2 in there. We all make mistakes throughout our career. So would you mind to share with the audience what are some of the mistakes that you made that you would like others to avoid if they're starting up their business right now?
That's a good question. If you ask me the biggest mistake in my career, I would say it's ego. I remember when my first license year in your company, I made $130,000. I broke all the record in your company. I become the youngest
six-figure earner.
Earner. Yes. That time I was 25 years old, and I feel I'm like the king of the world. Right? I'm no longer coachable at that time. I feel I'm doing good. I can do it my own way, not the company system way. I feel I can use my own way to build my team. That's my biggest mistake. And I remember I stayed on 100,000 for about a year.
Right.
For about a whole year, I didn't increase my income. So after that, I learned that, finally I figured it out. My mom always put a lot of time on me. Always have the patience on me.
Yeah.
Hey, son, you need to improve this, back to the basic. My mom always say, back to the basic. Think of how can you get to 100,000, back to the basic. Taught me almost a year, and after that, I figured out, man, I need to back to the basic, start over again. After that, until today, I never stopped.
Well, here's what I am not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of people who constantly making old mistakes. You know, we all made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, I've been doing this business for over 20 years now, and any mistakes that you name, I probably made it. All right, but for me, I truly believe in one thing. I believe that in order for you to get to the highest level of business and life, you got to make a lot of new mistakes. But along with making new mistakes, you have to make sure that you no longer go back to the same mistakes and continue to make those same mistakes, because the old mistakes is what's going to kill you.
Yep.
But the new mistakes is what is going to grow you and you learn from. Okay? The reason why people want to become an entrepreneur is because obviously they have dreams they haven't achieved yet. How important to you is to visualize those dreams before you even get it?
When I doing my first year in the business, all I want is just one buy exotic cars. I love Audi R8. That's my dream car. That's from the movie Airman. I love the car a lot. Every day after the whole day appointment, when I came back home, I used to live with my mom. My mom, they all went to bed already. I stay in our living room. I turn on my laptop and I go to YouTube. I search Audi R8. Basically, I watch all the video on YouTube. No matter how late, after the appointment, every night I remember I watch the video. I imagine one day, I can have that car. I can sit in that car. Before I get the car, I already feel I own the car already. So I always constantly reminds me what's my goal and what the car looks like. What's the car that I want? What's the model I want? Finally, after my first year, I bought my dream car, which is Audi R8 GT. It's a limited edition. I made my dream come true.
Right. I think having that dream, whether it's a smaller dream and then medium dream or ultimately bigger dream, precisely and accurately is important. When I started, I was a young guy just like you, and my dream was to retire my mom, and my dream was to buy a nice BMW. I still remember that, and very blessingly, I got all of that very quickly. But the difference between the ultimate successful entrepreneur and the one that's just okay is they graduate from one level to another level. So then I graduated from material things and lifestyle to recognition. I want to get recognized. I want to compete with the best of the best in my company, and eventually I want to compete with the best of the best in the industry. And through a lot of hard work, I was able to achieve that. Then ultimately now, my dream is no longer material things. It's no longer about just recognition or money or anything. It's a legacy of helping people through an opportunity like what we have in our company, and also beyond that, charity and all that stuff. And a lot of people constantly asking me questions that, how do I find those purpose, man? I just started a business. I don't know what purpose I have. And my answer to those people always being, you don't need to have a big purpose at the beginning, but you do have to have a passion to get those small little things first, like what you did. But to get to the highest level, the key is what? Graduate. One level to another level to another level, okay? As busy as you are today, when you are not working, what do you do on your free time? Let's say you're taking a little break. What do you usually do?
Actually, I'm doing the business for fun, right?
Yeah.
But besides the business, all I like is I love cars, I think in our company, people, they recognize Bill not only by my face, but also by my cars, by my collections. I bought my first Audi R8 when I was 25. This year, I bought my Ferrari 458 Spider. I bought another Benz S63 AMG, and recently I just got my new Bentley Super Sports. I love cars. I love that speed.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Now you got the cars. Now you got the success. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
The first of all is right now in my team, I got team manager who making between 100,000 to 700,000. And the business goal in 5 years, in my goal is I will help another at least 30 people, 30 agents to make over 100,000. That's my goal for business. Another thing is I came from a divorced family. So my mom and my dad, they all remarried. So basically I have two mommy and two daddy, right?
Okay.
I want to take care of them. They are already now like my age. They are like 30 years, 35 years older than me. They are retired age. I don't want them to work anymore. I want to retire them.
But that's difficult though. Your mother is crusading for money.
My mom is not doing this for money.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe you want to retire her. She said no. I'm going to keep driving this thing. So,
Yeah.
but it's great to see you and your mother work together. I mean, one of the most blessing thing that from my perspective as a mentor that I saw was the relationship between you and your mother. It's getting better and better. It gotten closer and closer.
I want to thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I remember I don't talk to my mom that much, right? Because of our story. I remember at the beginning when I want to talk to my mom, I talk to you.
Yeah.
Then you
I was a middleman.
Yeah, you
I
was the middleman.
guy.
Then you talk to my mom.
Yeah.
I want to thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
This is very important. Me and my mom right now, we are very closely. Lana is not only my mom, it's also my mentor.
Yes.
I want to thank my mom a lot. Without my mom, I cannot be who I am today.
Sure.
And she's not only helping me, she helped a lot of people. I'm just one of you and one of one student in our company.
Right. Okay. That sounds good. Now, obviously, there are a lot of people watching our shows and our contents around the world. We have people from Philippines, Vietnam, China, United States, Indonesia, Malaysia are watching all of my contents here. And I'm sure that many of those people are very young like you, okay? And maybe they are on the fence right now. Should I start my business? Should I not start my business? Any last minute of advice for some of those young entrepreneurs who want to really build a business? Any last advice for them?
I want to say is whatever you want to do, make that as your number one choice, your only choice. The reason I do our business, I join your company, because at that time, I don't have choice. Sometimes when you don't have choice, that's the time you have the best choice.
Yeah.
When I joined your company, I'm living in the basement. I've been living there for 3 years.
Right.
The first thing I went back, I need to turn on my light. Second thing, turn on the heater because it's really cold. And my first car in America is a $6,000 car. I don't have a fancy car, right? I don't have any choice when I join your company. This is my only choice. This is the only choice I can make my dream come true, which I did right now. So I want to give all the young people, the new starter, the entrepreneur, don't have any other choice. Make the thing you do right now as the only choice. That's your only choice. If you work like this way, you'll become very successful.
So in other words, pick one industry.
Yes.
Right? Because I think many people, they get distracted with so many different opportunities. So your word of advice is pick one that you're passionate.
I never give up.
Yep, just one that when you wake up in the morning, you can truly feel the excitement about the opportunity, and just simply focusing on one. And I agree with you on that one, because I think the most successful people in the world today, whether it's Jeff Bezos, Jack Ma, Zuckerberg, all these people, they focus on one industry. They don't focus on 10 different things, which is extremely important. Okay, that sounds great, man. That was an amazing interview, and I appreciate your time. And my last message for our audience around the world is this: in 2018, I want to challenge all the entrepreneurs in the world. Don't just say that I'm not going to lose. Start to say I'm going to win big, because not going to lose is not going to get you anywhere far. All right, start to be on a offensive mode rather than be simply on a defensive mode. So with that being said, thank you for watching Millionaires Talk Season 4, and I'm going to see you guys very, very soon here again. I appreciate all your support, and thank you very much for your busy time. Bill Hong.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.